I thought the bridge scene was very powerful indeed, and emphasised the overall effect of the bullying, her reaction to that, and obviously her final decision to kill herself. It was really powerful and well shot. I thought the park scene, as we've discussed, needs to be much more intense. Remember, this is the trigger to her decision to kill herself. So I think it needs a lot of close-ups of the bully, POVs of Becky, a lot of handheld stuff, and to make it much more intense, and that can obviously work to trigger her final decision to kill herself.
I think the park scene was a good example of bullying. I think to possibly improve it, you may want to try and elongate it a little bit. The bully seems to go straight into her. As soon as she enters the park, she runs straight towards the victim. I think maybe saying a couple of things at the gate before entering could sort of help to establish what's going on before she just runs straight in. But I think that is very good. For the bridge scene was good because obviously you couldn't show what actually happened. I think you dealt with that quite well. Possibly you could overlay some of the insults she heard from the other bullies, just have that playing in the background while she's thinking about what she's going to do, as that sort of shows that's driving her to do it. But other than that, I think the bridge scene was very effective, and it didn't show too much, but it showed enough so you know what happens. I think from the start it becomes quite clear that the girl isn't looking forward to going to school. You see her put the bandage on her wrist, which immediately springs to mind that she's covering something up, possibly self-harm or just... You don't actually know what she's covering up, but it does make you think something's not right there. Especially when she's in school and she's cowering outside, it makes her look very vulnerable and that she doesn't want to be there. The plot, it seems she's being bullied, which drives her to self-harm and then to suicide. She's also getting bullying from Facebook, which helps to keep it modern and sort of up to date with how it might happen now. I don't know if that's right, but it's a good touch having the Facebook and the text in there. I think that helped a lot.
I answered that when putting the bandages on to start off with, I was a little bit confused, but then that became apparent later on. And I found that the music really helped with that as well. And with writing the letter again, I didn't really understand to start off with what our intentions were, but with the music it became quite haunting and I really enjoyed it. And with the actor acting well throughout, that really helped me to empathise with it, and I really enjoyed it.
Add in a bit more about the bullying in the park, because it was clear, but it was a bit like she's being bullied here, but it wasn't clear. Didn't go into that much detail. And maybe her parents, because you've got the voice and then you can't really see, so she's just sort of like on her own throughout the whole film. And I know that's kind of the theme, but I think you need to see her mum maybe. And take out in the morning, she's it's quite long-winded and there's not a lot of action when she's getting dressed and stuff.
I don't think any of the parts should be taken out. All of the scenes told the story well and are effective in creating emotion.
At the beginning, I really liked how the images were all overlapped and like on top of each other. I thought the voiceovers were really effective and they helped to like tell the story. And I thought the music really suited the scenes and it really helped like create emotions and feelings within the film.
I thought that the juxtaposition of the indoors and the outdoors worked quite well. The inside was like an escape, it was brightly lit, it was quite colourful, but then you've also got the blues of the wall and the bedding, and that hints at what's going on sort of behind the story. And the outdoors, they're quite dark and it's quite eerie that they're quite quiet and empty. And I quite like that. And the dead trees, that works quite well, but obviously you can't help that. The only criticism I have was the bit in the playground and the lighting suddenly changes, it's day and then it changes to night.
I wasn't confused at any of their actions. I thought they all came across clear and played their roles well. I thought the last scene had the most impact because it showed the most emotion and it gave a good ending to the story.
things to leave in would be the bullying scene because I think it's successful, but I didn't understand why it went dark so quickly because the progression of time wasn't clear, and I wouldn't take anything out.
A schoolgirl is bullied by another girl through texts, online and in the playground, and goes on a bridge on a road to kill herself. I didn't think at any point I was confused. It wasn't too complicated, but it was still an effective film.